This is a response video. A few days ago, Andrew Tan, principal of Eunoia Junior College, responded to me on LinkedIn with the following message. Specifically, I wanted to respond to Andrew's request on the following. My team and I are familiar with Notion, though not with Lovable and not GitHub. So I'm wondering if Gemini can be a good substitute for Lovable and if you might have any lookout for us. So let's get Eunoia's teachers ready for building. I love it that Andrew's asking for a framework and he's truly an educator. Because in today's Gen AI world, software is evolving so fast, specific features change all the time. It's going to be more beneficial to his teachers if we can give them an evergreen framework that can guide them on how to choose an AI builder similar to Gemini. So in this video, I'm going to have 3 big sections. Instead of Lovable, I'm going to recommend a substitute AI builder to Andrew and his teachers that's similar to Gemini called Claude. I'm recommending Claude because it's undisputably the best for building at the moment. Number 2, Gemini and Claude technically are not AI builders, so it's more appropriate to call them general-purpose Gen AI assistants. So I'm going to explain very briefly how these 2 AI assistants differ and what their unique strengths are of, 2025. Finally, I'm going to take Andrew and his teachers through Claude. But rather than just teaching Claude specifically, I'm going to introduce a framework that he and his teachers can use to choose a good AI assistant for building their own tools, in case Claude is no longer the best tool to use in the future. Let's go! So what's Claude? Claude is a general-purpose Gen AI assistant that's similar to Google's Gemini and OpenAI's ChatGPT. It's developed by this company called Anthropic. In California, where I'm based currently, Anthropic is the ethical AI company of choice. The company is supposedly structured as a public benefit corporation. It has a technical approach to AI called constitutional AI, which has a safety-first mandate. And its founding members were known to have left OpenAI because of concerns surrounding AI safety. But if you ask me, big tech and capitalism means that this superior ethical standing is also very grey, so please take it with a pinch of salt. There are 3 ways of accessing Claude. The mobile app, which you download from Google or Android app stores, the web app, which you access at claude.ai, and you can also download the desktop version at claude.com/download. You can register for a free account via Google, and if you like, pay for a premium version that gives you more usage rights. All 3 ways of accessing Claude have the same features, but the desktop version is the easiest for me to demo, so I'm going to use that in this video. Alright, Claude versus Gemini. In this section, we're going to do a high-level comparison first of Claude versus Gemini. Now, Gemini is superior to Claude in 4 areas. Number 1, multimodal abilities. This refers to its ability to receive and generate a wide range of different data formats. For example, it has image and video generation capabilities, and it's also incredible at describing and understanding images and videos. As a final gem, Gemini is also slightly better at interpreting real-world documents like receipts, invoices, and other forms, but this is marginal. Number 2, Google integration. It's very well integrated with the Google ecosystem like Google Drive, YouTube, and even OpenStax, which is a repository of free textbooks. Number 3, larger context window. That means it can process and retain a significantly larger amount of text information than Claude. For example, you can even analyze PDFs that have over 1,000 pages. Number 4, it is much cheaper than Claude. Each time you chat with Gemini, it costs far less than using Claude. But Claude is superior to Gemini in 4 other areas that make it well positioned for building AI apps. Number 1, it's fine-tuned for coding. Anthropic's business model is enterprise coding. So if you want to build your own apps, Claude wins hands down. Number 2, safety and ethical reasoning. Claude is slightly more sensible in this area, which is a huge plus for building apps when you're concerned about things like cybersecurity and data privacy. Number 3, conversation style and brainstorming. By far, Claude's conversation style and knack for brainstorming trumps all other AI models. Number 4, well, it's also integration. It's not super well connected to Google services and the Google ecosystem as you might expect, but it's super well connected to a wide range of other apps and services, including things like Notion and GitHub. Since Andrew and his teachers mentioned that his teachers are familiar with Notion, Claude will be a good companion for them to start building. Okay, in this section of the video, I'm going to take Andrew and his teachers through the features of Claude, which make it good for building AI apps. But rather than just a Claude tutorial, I'm going to provide a framework for assessing whether an AI assistant is good for building apps. The first thing you should look at is integration. Because in order to build effectively, you want to make sure you're well connected to things like your user stories in, say, Notion, supporting documents like Google Drive and GitHub for your code. So let's see what Claude has. When you click on the plus icon, you notice that Claude allows you to upload any kind of supporting files. It also has GitHub, Google Drive, and Notion integration. And immediately that meets the minimum set of requirements. However, Claude goes 3 steps further. Number 1, connectors. If you go to settings and click on connectors, Claude can connect to many other things like Canva, which is good for content creation, Google Calendar, which you can use to schedule timetables and meetings. Claude can also connect to apps on your computer. I'm using a MacBook, so you can connect to my Apple Notes app and even my Spotify. If you're a pro like my software engineers, you can write a custom connector. So just click on Custom Connector and then connect to any other app on the web. Number 2, extensions. Still in the settings page, click on extensions and then browse extensions. You'll see that Claude can do a lot of things like connecting to Chrome, which is good for web scraping, Tableau, which means you can automate dashboard creation, and control your Mac, which means you can automate tasks on your local computer. If you think that's all, I'm not done yet. Number 3 is chat retrieval. Let's go back to the chat interface. Now, instead of clicking the plus icon to add a file from Notion, I'm just going to search my Notion using the chat interface itself. For example, I wrote a poem called I Love My Wife, Audrey. Let's see if Claude can find it. Yeah, so instead of adding files one by one from Google Drive or Notion, you can just ask Claude to find your files and it will do it for you. You should also see if your AI assistant has a knowledge management feature. For example, in Claude, there's this feature called Projects that allows you to organize your work. Go to the sidebar, click on Projects, then click on New Project. Let's create a new project called Building Apps for Schools. Then in the description box, let's write, this project is a collection of apps that I'm building for Eunoia Junior College. Go ahead and click on Create Project when you're done. This will then bring you to the project folder, and here's where Claude really shines. There's a dedicated memory function, so Claude remembers everything you've created within the project folder. There's also a customized instructions feature, so if you click on the plus icon, you can give Claude customized instructions or knowledge to better guide your app building. And then there are also dedicated files that you can add into your project. For example, if you want to build a chemistry app and you need Peter Atkin's physical chemistry book as reference, just upload it and Claude will have chemistry context to fill in the contents for your chemistry app. Now, all these leads very nicely to the next thing you should assess your AI assistant for, whether it has an inbuilt canvas. Now, a canvas is simply an area in the AI assistant where you can play with your app and use it. It's pointless if your AI assistant doesn't give you a way to use the app that you built. Now, Claude has such a feature which it calls the artifact feature. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and create our first app in this project folder. Create a periodic table app for me. When I click on the element symbol, create pop-ups that show me the electronic configuration of the element. When you're done writing a prompt, Claude goes into code writing mode. And within a minute or so, your app is done, also known as an artifact. Now, this looks pretty good if you ask me. So let's test out lithium. Let's click on it. And yeah, it looks correct. Atomic number 3, mass number is 6.9, and electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1. The next thing you should assess for is whether you can download your code and also share your app. Because it's quite pointless if the only one who can use your app is just you and not your team. In Claude, if you click on the downwards pointing chevron next to copy, you see that you can download the file. So let's see what that looks like. A dialog box pops up and you can save your code as a HTML file. Let's go ahead and save it and then open it on our computer to see what happens. As you can see, when you open a HTML file, it opens up on your web browser and you can use your app. So that's just one easy way to share your app with your colleagues. Just share the HTML file and they can open it on their computer too. Now there's another way to share the app, which is to publish this artifact. Go to the downwards pointing chevron again and click it, and this time click on Publish Artifact. Go ahead and publish. Claude will then give you a link, and now anyone with an internet connection can just use this link to access your app. And if you click on embed, you can even embed your app into your blogs, websites, or Google sites that you use to teach your students. Now, especially when you're an educator and you want to create specialized AI functions in your app, you should ask also if your app builder supports AI integration. What this means is whether you can ask it to hook up to an online LM for you to create generative AI features. For example, let's look at how we can add an AI feature in Claude very quickly to our periodic table app. I'm going to ask Claude to add an AI feature where it can quickly allow you to ask anything you want about the element. If I were truly building this for a student, I may want to anchor the response on a certain body of text, like maybe a legit chemistry textbook. But since I'm just doing a simple demo, I just want to show you how this works. As you can see, when I click on the element, the dialog box now has a text input area where I can ask anything I want about the element. When I click submit, I get an AI-generated response, which I emphasize, you should train it using proper textbooks and your own knowledge. But for the purposes of this demo, you see what I mean. For all you educators out there who don't really want to get too far out there with AI, I understand. You're cautious, no problem. Check whether your AI builder allows you to create connections or API requests to research or education websites. So here's an example. When I was doing computational chemistry in my final year undergraduate studies, I helped my professor set up connections to PubChem, the world's largest collection of freely accessible and accurate chemical information. I know the API calls and website structure inside out. So all I need to do is give Claude the relevant information and instructions, and here you go. I'm now able to pull highly accurate and updated chemical information from a few billion compounds and elements from government agencies, universities, and research institutes all around the world. Oh yeah, Singapore National Research Foundation. If you are watching this, you can use this for all your research subscriptions too, so delay no more. If what you want requires you to quickly scan through documentation and knowledge bases, you should also look out for knowledge-based connections like web search, deep research, or even connections to files on your local computer. Claude does very well here because when you click on the settings icon, you get the option to do web search, deep research, or even a connection to folders on your local computer. As an AI builder, I can now store all my design plans on my computer, then quickly get Claude to read through all of them to start building. This is really useful if you're someone who needs to sit down and plan comprehensively before executing, because this means you can write out all your thoughts in the structured format and then feed it to Claude systematically. Alright, Eunoia Junior College teachers and Andrew, I hope you find this tutorial useful. Please just keep building and keep learning, and just share this with all our teachers and public service officers, whom you think may find this useful. Remember to keep sending me your use cases, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.